Hello, everyone. Did you miss me? It's been a few weeks. I've been gone. You've been gone. We haven't been together at this channel for some time, but now we are back for season 3 of Climbing the Ladder Challenge. I'm very excited. I picked a new deck. I have done some changes on my little dueling book thing. You guys can see that there's some little small changes to our layout here, and so I'm excited. Here we are, guys, season 3. I can't believe it. Yeah, the ladder got reset. I have played a few matches on an alt account, but I've played no matches at all on this one. We are starting back at 100 ELO, and we are doing it together. So I bet you guys want to know what deck we're playing. I bet you guys looked in the YouTube title and already know. So let's see. This is it. This is the deck. All right, so this is episode 0. We've done this every season so far. That I'm just going to spend a little bit of time. We're going to go over the deck list and we're going to get reacclimated to each other. we haven't spent time with each other. We have to like learn who you are. Who are you? I don't know. We're going to talk about the deck. We're going to figure out what we're going to do. Okay, guys? So, in all of the other seasons of the Ladder Challenge, I have focused a little bit on what I think makes GOAT format special. We have all of these incredibly powerful cards that get banned later. And so I want to spend some time here in this format thinking about how best to use these cards that were deemed so good that they could not continue play with later sets. First season, Cold Wave, Brain Control. Those two together, crazy cards. Second season, Limiter Removal, Return from the Different Dimension, / Dimension Fusion. Really good cards. This one, this season, season 3, Last Turn. Last Turn. I'm nervous. I don't know if you guys are nervous, but I'm nervous. I have played no Last Turn before. The only Last Turn I've played is when I made this deck from scratch. I did some practice matches with it, and I kind of got a sense of what kind of Last Turn works, kind of. But we are definitely in for another season where early on, you guys are going to get super mad at me. You guys are going to be mad because I'm going to make a whole bunch of mistakes and you guys are going to point them out. We're all going to have a good time. So I picked Last Turn. I think my philosophy with that is that there has been some speculation in the GOAT space that Last Turn is viable. As far as I know, it has topped no event ever. But I think it's just that people don't play it. I know there are some players that kind of dabble with it, but they don't make like big splashes in the GOAT format scene, so you just don't really see this card very often. Nobody knows how it works. It's probably the most misunderstood card in the format. It's very hard. If you go on GOATformat.com, its ruling list is like super duper long. But we're going to tackle it. We're going to try to make it work. So let's just go through the card pool. So traditionally, if you guys don't know what Last Turn does, you have to activate it during your opponent's turn. You have to have 1,000 life points or less. Those are the 2 activation requirements. I guess the third one is that you need to have a monster on your side of the field. So you activate it. You select that monster, one of these guys, Jowgen perhaps, and you send every other card on the field and in the hands to the graveyard. And then the opponent chooses one monster from their deck and they special summon it. There is a special battle phase on top of the regular battle phase that turn, and the 2 monsters clash together and only one can remain. And the monster left standing wins the game. If both of them are removed from the field somehow, then it's a draw. And so there's actually a pretty high draw potential with this sort of deck. And so we're excited about that. The traditional way to cheese this is by summoning Jowgen the Spiritualist. Jowgen's effect is that neither player can special summon a monster, so if you activate Last Will successfully with this card, the opponent just can't special summon from their deck and you just win basically by default. You can also achieve that end by using Cyberstein into the Last Warrior from Another Planet, which has the same effect. And so these 2 cards are the traditional route by which you kind of activate Last Will and you win the game. But I'm not interested in that. That's too easy. That's too normal. We're not doing that. It's part of the deck because I think I would be kind of like weird if we didn't include that traditional kind of win condition, but I don't want it that way. The list here is bad. It's bad. It's not good, but it's inspired with the idea that ACP brought up, that he thought that last turn would be viable not only with these cheese monsters that can prevent your opponent from special summoning anything, but with a sufficiently high attack power monster like Goblin Attack Force, like Jirai Gumo, even Berserk Gorilla. The opponent will just have no cards in their deck with higher attack values than that. Turbo doesn't play it. Turbo will have Tribe, Turbo will have Breaker, but nothing gets high. Nothing gets over 2,000. And so if you play last turn against Turbo, you don't need to cheese the special summon, because if you have big enough monsters. And so we're going to go with that. There's definitely some issues with the thinking because, you know, Turbo isn't the only deck out there, and stuff like Blade Knight gets us up to 2,000. And so there are definitely meta decks for whom this will not work as well. But I think it's actually the rogue decks that are going to be harder to beat, because the rogue decks could have anything. They could have main deck Jinzo, they could have main deck Hades, you know, it could have anything. And so we have to be kind of careful about activating last turn, because if we activate it with a big fat Jirai Gumo on the field and we lose, we will be losers. And so here we are. All right, so we have the cheesers. We have 2 cheesers on the field, 2 cheesers, and then we have the Earth Aggro Shell. 2 Berserk Gorilla, 2 DD Assailant, 1 Exile Force, all 3 Gigantes, 3 Goblin Attack Force, and 3 Jirai Gumo. Those are our monsters. I want to play fewer, to be honest. And the next iteration of the deck will probably have fewer. I want to focus a little bit more on spell traps, but I wanted to make kind of a compromise list between last turn and Earth Aggro in this iteration. The reason for that is that it's really hard to draw this. Last turn is semi-limited in GOAT format, which is kind of an odd thing. There are actually not very many cards that are semi-limited, and like the logic is kind of weird because it's like, why not put it at 1 or at 3? You know, 2 is kind of odd. People kind of make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh because it has a semi-limited list. I've seen that before from other TCG players. But yeah, so getting this card in your hand is kind of difficult. And so I want to have kind of a core of monsters that can keep us afloat with aggression while we're waiting for this last turn to be drawn. In addition to that, I'm playing one very cheesy different dimension capsule, which can grab us another part of the combo. It can grab us last turn if we need it. It can grab us one of the cheesers. It can grab us Wall of Revealing Light. And if you remember, one of the requirements for last turn is that we have to have 1,000 life points or less, and Wall of Revealing Light can make sure that is true regardless of our current count in life points. And so it's the premier kind of way to get your life down, and it's also a good floodgate. And so it can grab us any of these. Obviously, it's prone to being destroyed. Obviously, it has terrible anti-synergy with these Trunades and our Heavy Storm. It's actually really bad. But I like it as a card. I think it's neat. I think it's neat, and so we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it for now. It might become like the orb, and we'll get rid of it. Even, you know, if you kind of like zoom in with your eyes, there's kind of an orb in it. There's an orb on it, and so maybe it is this season's orb. We have Graceful Charity. We have Pot of Greed. We have Heavy Storm. We have Nolan Cross Out. We have Nolan Cross Out. We have MST. We have those cards. We have Premature Burial. Premature Burial is really good because Premature Burial has great synergy with Giant Trunade. Premature Burial also has really good synergy with Last Turn. So when Last Turn is activated, it sends all the cards from the field. It doesn't destroy, and so the monster you pre-mat back can be a target for Last Turn. And so it has some pretty good applications there. We could think about using Call the Haunted later, but obviously one of this deck's weaknesses is Royal Decree, and so we kind of want to keep the trap lineup as small as possible. Apart from that, we got one Rhoda. We could play more than one. We were playing a whole oodle bunch of warriors. Not DD Warrior Lady for now, because she's not nerfed, and I kind of just want to keep it pretty much strictly Earth for this first episode, maybe. We got a Smashing Ground. The reason why we have Smashing Ground, Cub told me not to put it in the deck, but I see it in a whole bunch of Earth aggro decks. I don't know why it's good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why it's good, but it's like in a whole bunch of decks, and so I think we're gonna have one of them. We're playing Dust Tornado because I want a second MSD. 2 last turn, of course. 2 skill drain. So part of this kind of whole concept is I want to find more organic ways to get us down to last turn range. Like we have this Wall of Revealing Light, and that's fine. We have 3 Solemns, which is I think really good. We have Chiraiguma, which has a chance to lower our life points by half, and so it turns a bad effect into like an okay effect. Skill Drain's good. Skill Drain lowers our life points, which is good. It stops us from paying Chiraiguma, which is probably good. It keeps Gaff in attack mode, good. Berserk Gorilla is no longer prone to being destroyed by like enemy controller or stuff like this. DD suddenly becomes worse, let's be honest. Gigantes can become worse or better depending on whether or not you want the back row removal effect, but that I find that actually has come up with Gigantes a lot more in this deck than literally any other Gigantes deck I've ever had. And so, I don't know, Bluetooth mode. So yeah, we got that. So that's the main deck. I think it's going to join the hall of other main decks from Season 0 that are really, really bad when we look back on it. We're going to look back and be like, what was I thinking? But for now, that's what we're going to roll with. The side deck's even worse. It's kind of a pile. Bluetooth connection. All right, I'm going to pause. Give me one second. All right, we're back. So I have this, you guys have maybe noticed, I got this light behind me, and I've had it for basically this entire time. All 3 seasons, and it's like a Bluetooth speaker that's very bad. I use it for like a cool light on my wall, but sometimes my neighbors connect their phones to it and play music through it because it's like an open Bluetooth source. And you guys heard that. It was only available for like 10 seconds, and one of my neighbors already connected to it. It's crazy. So I'm telling you the story in order to avoid talking about the side deck. The side deck's not good. I want in the future to make it a kind of, you guys know me by now. We're 3 seasons in. I want to make it like a transition side again. There are some decks that last turn's just not going to work against. And I feel like once we've already gotten last turn off once, it's not as good. People are going to bring in their decrees. They're going to bring in their like Mobius, which can get over all of our monsters. It's not as good once the cat is out of the bag, and so I want to come up with some alternative strategy that we can turn to that utilizes a lot of these cards, like the 3 of Giant Churnade, even the Gaff, maybe the Chiraigumo. I'm thinking about Panda Burn. I think that could be interesting. I have these 3 Chain Energy, which I'm really kind of excited about. I think that Chain Energy has potential in order to put pressure on the opponent with our aggro side, but also give us the ability to lower our own life points for last turn. I think it's going to be okay. I'm excited about it. So let's maybe try to make that work. I got Breaker. Breaker's good. Got Tribe. Tribe's good. I got Morphing Jar, which I think is kind of critical. In this deck, you don't have a whole lot of cards in hand most of the time, and you want to get to your combo, and so Morphing Jar should maybe even be in the main. I could see me dropping Stein for Morphing Jar. I might even do that right now. No, we're not going to do it right now. We're going to do it next episode, probably. We got Lily. Lily's good. I want to bring her in only when Skill Drain's not in, because the anti-synergy is pretty rough. We got 3 King Tiger Wanghu. And the reason for that is that I love decks that have monsters that have 1400 attack. I love those decks. And this card has pooped on me so much, and so I'm finally playing a deck where that is not the case, and so I'm loading up on this card so I can poop on people who are like me and like cool decks with weenie monsters. We got Legendary Jujutsu Master. Legendary Jujutsu Master, I think, is a sleeper. It's really good with last turn because if they attack into it and they can't get over it, it bounces it to the top of the deck. And so you can put this in, this is a defense mode way to win the game through last turn, which I think is interesting. And so I think that this might also move into the main at some point, but our main is knock proof effectively. And so we do want to kind of like maybe bring in Morphing Jar, bring in Legendary Jujutsu Master, after they take the knocks out. I don't know. Snatch Shield's a good card. Probably should be in the main. Probably should be over one of these 2 cards. I don't know. We have another one. We have Mirror Force because we're not playing it. and Torrential Tribute because we're not playing it. So yeah, the kind of strategy is that we want to go super aggro. We want to get the game done as soon as possible. We want to get the game done through last turn, but if we can't, we will get it done through kind of an Earth aggro shell. That's it, guys. I hope you guys are really excited for this because I'm over here and I am having a good time. I'm really hyped for Season 3. Some other housekeeping things. So we have the chart. We have both the Season 1 up here and Season 2 down here. For the depression aspect where we compare performance, I'm going to compare to Season 2. You know, you know the reason. If you watch Season 2, you know the reason. We want a bit of an easier start, I think. We want a bit of an easier start. We don't want depression this time. We don't want depression this time. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to upload episode 1 at the exact same time. And so after you're done watching this, I would recommend you just hop on in and see how the first games go. So I'm going to see you there. Boing. Boing.